This is how England is marking its comeback.
This is the most amazing game I've ever been to.
Big sport has returned, with so-called test events where the crowds need to prove they're COVID-free. But the wider message is clear. It's back to business, and the gloves, or masks, are off.
We've watched these mass crowds at Wimbledon, Euros. When you see it, how does that make you feel?
Angry. We all feel extremely angry.
Italian businessman Luca Maggiora shut his nightclub's doors in London's Mayfair 16 months ago. He's accrued £800,000 or $1.5 million in debt. But while big sport is back, clubs like his are still closed.
There are 12,000 people in Wimbledon every day, and there are 20,000 people in Royal Ascot, and there are 60,000 people for the semi-final and final of the Euro Cup, and nightclubs cannot open. For us, is absurd. It's really absurd.
But in less than a fortnight, things are likely to be very different. Boris Johnson is pushing ahead with plans to lift restrictions altogether.
If we can't reopen our society in the next few weeks, when we will be helped by the arrival of summer and by the school holidays, then we must ask ourselves, when will we be able?
Social distancing rules will be scrapped. Mask wearing will become voluntary. There'll be no limit on numbers in pubs and restaurants, and music festivals and nightclubs will open again. Life will very simply be back to normal. This is who he can thank. Scientists, including the designer of the AstraZeneca vaccine, Sarah Gilbert, who received a standing ovation at Wimbledon.
And so it was great. And a real boost to the team here as well to see that public reception. How much it clearly meant to everyone who was there, and that event really could only happen due to the vaccine developers.
Australian Matthew Snape is a key member of the AstraZeneca team at Oxford University.
In the UK and in Europe, most of the world, there is an acceptance that we're going to have to live with this virus and that we won't be able to prevent all infections through immunisation. No one has ever pretended that would be the case. We will not be able to eradicate this virus. We need to live with this virus. What we can do is stop it causing severe illness and hospitalisation, and that's the goal here. And so far, that is holding in the UK.
More than 45 million people in the UK, or 83% of the adult population, have now received one jab. 33 million, or 61%, a double dose. And while the infection rate is rising to about 30,000 new cases a day, the number of COVID patients in hospital remains low, as do the number of deaths. In December, when there were a similar number of new daily infections, there were around 500 deaths a day. Now it's sitting under 20.
We are seeing an increase in infections. At the moment, we seem to have broken the link then between that automatically translating into increased hospitalisations and deaths. And that's what the vaccines are designed to do. Break that link between infections, which are going to go up again, break that link between infections and severe cases of death and hospitalisations.
While Boris Johnson is basking in the glory of the vaccination success, this is also his legacy. On this makeshift remembrance wall, each heart represents a COVID-19 death, and there are almost 130,000 of them. Not to mention, around 2 million people in this country are suffering from long COVID.
A large number of infections do impact people. More people are being harmed. There is the problem of long COVID. There's the problem that if you have a reservoir of infection, then as we go into the autumn and winter, then things can go up again.
32-year-old Monique Jackson contracted the disease in the first wave in March last year. She's created a social media diary to document her journey with long COVID.
When I relapsed and I was in bed for weeks and was very poorly, I couldn't paint in my bed. I'm not Frida Kahlo, but I decided to draw digitally my experiences, and it was a great outlet to just process everything that had happened that I struggled to put into words. I hope people are aware that long COVID exists and that COVID-19 is real. It's a real virus, and although people may survive it, it can leave symptoms that can be very debilitating and difficult to recover from.
But despite the surge in case numbers that are doubling approximately every 9 days, England is shifting strategy to one of living with the virus and moving on.
I think the rest of the world is looking forward to being able to travel to Australia and to see Australians travelling again. Expat Australians such as myself are very much looking forward to being able to travel back to Australia and seeing our family. And that's not going to happen until we get high uptake of the vaccines, whichever vaccines they are.
Luca Majora is ready to reopen, and he never wants COVID to be the reason for a closure again.
They told us to be patient, that help was going to arrive. And now in the next couple of months, probably we're going to have 52 million people double jabbed. And now there's no more excuses. We just need to open and stop talking about COVID.
No more talk about COVID.
No, and claim our life back.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.